What's up, Banter fam? Welcome back to the show. It's your host, Miles. I am coming to you live on Crypto Banter to explain exactly what is happening with Metamask at the moment. There's been a lot of rumors lately about Metamask taking people's IP addresses, storing their data. Is Metamask still safe to use? Should we be switching wallets? And what are the actual risks of what is going down with Metamask and a lot of DeFi applications right now? So in today's show, I want to break down exactly what you should be doing, how to keep yourself safe, and also go through the nitty-gritty of the MetaMask privacy policy and work out exactly what is going on here and get to the bottom of it. Let's get straight into the show. Smash the like button for staying safe in crypto. Now, what they did basically on November 23rd was they updated their privacy policy. Their privacy policy describes how Consensus Software Incorporated collects, uses, shares, and stores personal information of users of its website. This wasn't a new piece of information. They've had a privacy policy for quite some time, but what really sparked people's interest in the privacy policy was the fact that they released a new updated document and put it out into the public. And there was one line which garnered a lot of public attention, and it was this line here. When you use Infura as your default RPC provider in MetaMask, Infura will collect your IP address and your Ethereum wallet address when you send a transaction. However, if you're using your own Ethereum node or third-party RPC provider with MetaMask, then neither Infura nor MetaMask will collect your IP address or Ethereum wallet address. It's the first half of this sentence that really started getting the public eye. And this was this. When you use Infura as your default RPC provider, if you guys don't know what that means, essentially when you connect to a MetaMask network, the default setting is to use Infura to provide RPC data so you can connect to a network like Ethereum, like Phantom. They will essentially collect your IP addresses in order to verify RPCs, which is a remote procedure call, which is how networks connect or talk to each other over the blockchain and connect to your MetaMask wallet. Now, that really got people thinking, because essentially what they were saying was, in some way, shape, or form, they're collecting your IP addresses. And this really started to make people worry about whether MetaMask was safe to use or not safe to use, because if they're storing your IP addresses in some way, shape, or form, that kind of erodes the exact reason why we're in crypto. I mean, we're in crypto because of the privacy element, because of the decentralization element, because we have control over how we use our own money, how we use our own finances. And if any other third party has some element of control over our data, then that erodes the reason why we're in crypto in the first place. So they did clarify this a day later, because obviously it's caused a stir. And they said, when users interact with Ethereum or other blockchains, such as sending a transaction or requesting a balance through an RPC service provider, the provider receives the IP address and the wallet address to provide the service. This is not Infura specific and is consistent with how web architecture works generally. And what this means is that it's not just MetaMask that's using your IP address. It is basically 90% of DeFi applications. It is multiple RPC providers across multiple different networks that are on other wallets, that are on other DeFi applications. So the problem isn't MetaMask exclusive. So I don't necessarily think this is a reason to panic out of MetaMask exclusively. However, it is something to think about, because the entirety of crypto may not be as private as we would like it to be. Now, I did some digging, and I thought this second line was very pertinent to the security question, because if you're using your own Ethereum node, they said they won't collect your IP address or Ethereum wallet address. What this means is that you can go onto MetaMask yourself and edit what RPC you use to make sure that they are not collecting your IP address. The problem is, and we saw this because Mystic went through the steps, the problem is it's very difficult for you to actually not use Infura. It's very difficult for you to use your own RPC. So to actually do the extension process, and Mystic went through and did it himself, it's not very user-friendly at all. You have to add your own Ethereum mainnet provider. The RPC thing was locked. Then he clicked add network. Then he got an ugly red warning. And then the Ethereum mainnet was still locked. And then he had to go through the networks page. And basically, it was just very, 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 very hard for him to use his own RPC. So despite MetaMask saying that you can use your own node or third-party RPC provider and not use Infura, in practice, it's actually very hard to do so. So essentially, if you use MetaMask, you're locked into Infura. Technically, you're not, but the average user is not going to have the technological capability or nous to be able to update their own RPC. And that was the major issue here. And Adam Cochran responded to this by saying, wow, the MetaMask stuff is worse than it looked at first. Not just collecting data when you send a transaction. The moment you unlock the wallet, it records all your addresses under the same IP. Now, a lot of people were questioning, well, MetaMask doesn't actually track your IP address. They don't know what country you're in because it's Infura that's using the data, not MetaMask. One counterpoint I'd have to that, and I will go through MetaMask's response in a second, but one counterpoint I have to that is, let's look at Venezuela, for example. MetaMask was blocked in Venezuela. So if you're a Venezuelan user and you have MetaMask as an extension, you can't actually use MetaMask. How would they know what country you're in if they weren't collecting IP addresses? That's the major question that I have. If they weren't collecting IP addresses, then they wouldn't know what country you're in, and then they couldn't block Venezuelans. But because they are, or Infura is using IP addresses, they know what countries to block because they know what country you're in. If you guys don't know how IP works, you can see exactly your location based on what IP address you're using to connect to a website. And this is across crypto in general. So MetaMask responded to this. They said nothing's changed with the way MetaMask operates. It was just the language that they updated in terms of their privacy policy. Joseph Lubin, the creator or founder, said MetaMask does not collect IP addresses. It routes information through Infura, the RPC provider. RPC, as we discussed before, stands for Remote Procedure Call. Infura takes requests from MetaMask and then returns answers to those requests. So Infura is connecting the requests to the blockchain and the MetaMask wallet itself. It's essentially connecting those two processes together through an RPC. So MetaMask itself isn't storing your data, no, but Infura is. And do you want any company holding your IP address? Personally, I don't think so. Now, I just want to clarify. MetaMask itself is not collecting IP addresses, but the RPCs are, and the whole of Web3 essentially works on IPs to work correctly. MetaLab Services says here, MetaMask uses Infura. The whole web needs IPs to work correctly. But this line actually is more shocking to me than if MetaMask itself was actually storing IPs, because what it demonstrates is that it's not just MetaMask that's storing IPs. It's essentially the whole of Web3 because there are many RPC providers using your IPs, many DeFi applications using your IPs, and many other products in Web3 and obviously Web2. Obviously, that goes without saying, but exclusively in Web3 that are using IPs to work correctly because that's how they process requests. So why does this create issues? This creates a few issues for these 4 reasons that I've stated here. Your wallet or DeFi application keeps a log of your IP address. So if you connect to a DeFi application, not all of them, for example, Uniswap doesn't, but some and a large percentage of DeFi applications do, they'll keep a log or at least track your IP address to some extent. That IP address could potentially, in my opinion, be logged to an exchange account because let's say you have let's say you have money in a wallet in DeFi, you're using a staking platform, and then you want to withdraw money out because you need US dollars or whatever country in Australian dollars, you want to withdraw to a bank account. The only way to do that is to put it into an exchange. The problem is, if your exchange is KYC'd and your MetaMask is using the same IP address as your exchange is using, then whenever you send money from your wallet to your exchange, those two IP addresses are now linked. So technically, what can happen is the government could ask an exchange to hand over your IP information through a subpoena or an update to local legislation policy. And basically, they would then have access to every single trade you're ever taken because they can look at your MetaMask wallet or another wallet that's storing your data or a DeFi application that's storing your data and say, hold on, he used the same IP address as the exchange is using, and the exchange is KYC'd. So this MetaMask or this wallet or this DeFi application must be linked to this user. And then the government has access to every single trade you've ever taken, every single swap you've done, every single withdrawal you've done, every single deposit you've done. And if you're okay with that, that's fine. If you're okay with that, then so be it. That's your choice. But personally, I don't believe in that because I'm in crypto because of the benefits decentralization offers and because of the benefits that privacy offers. And I'm a big proponent of the importance of privacy in our financial system. And if our IP addresses are being tracked in any way, shape, or form, even if MetaMask isn't storing them, but even the RPC provider is using them, then that is a major issue in my opinion. And there's just such an obvious solution here, guys. And that's to use a VPN. Like, it's just so obvious. If you're not using a VPN in 2022, and I'm sure most of you are, but for the ones that aren't, guys, There are so many benefits. I don't even need to tell them to you. But it's so important to protect your privacy, not only from hacks, but also from the government, also from applications that are storing your IP addresses. It basically solves the entire problem. And this entire MetaMask problem that's come to light recently could just be solved by you using a VPN. Now, you don't need to use my link. I'm not here to show you a link. You can use any VPN, to be honest. There's many good VPNs out there. But if you do want a VPN that works, that we know works, and that we can get you quite a good deal on, given we get a 60% discount for our followers, then there is a NordVPN link in the description. And as I said, you don't need to use this. You can use any VPN. I just want you to get a VPN. I want you to be safe. So use any VPN you want. But if you do want an easy, trusted VPN that we have vetted and we trust, NordVPN is a very good product. There's a first link in the description to sign up, and they have a Cyber Monday deal. As I said, use any VPN you want, but it's very important in this day and age that you do use a VPN to keep yourself protected. And I can't stress this point enough, because we've seen time after time VPN exploits occur. VPN exploitation occurs through protocols storing VPNs, using IPs, not VPNs, using IPs, storing IPs. It's just such an easy solution to use a VPN and just bypass that entire process. So just to explain quickly how NordVPN works, it's very, very simple. If you download it, you can use it as an extension, or you can use it as an application yourself. You can get access to a list of countries, and literally all you need to do to protect yourself is click on a country. Let's say I want to go to France. I click on France. Obviously, I'm not going to sign in now because that will take this entire stream down, because it will switch my networks. But if I wasn't on stream, I would show you this live. All you need to do to literally change countries is click on Brazil. I'm in Brazil. If I want to change myself to Australia, click on Australia. I'm in Australia. Albania, Argentina. You get the point. You can literally mask yourself in any country you want by using a VPN. So in my opinion, it's a no-brainer. I don't want to go on about it too much, because you guys know the importance of a VPN right now. I shouldn't need to tell you twice, but for those that don't have a VPN, you need a VPN. I really can't stress it enough. I'm done with that argument now. But yeah, after all this MetaMask stuff, it's painfully obvious. First link in the description to a NordVPN account. Sign up, 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you hate it, if you think it's shit, if you're not getting a benefit from it, which you will, by the way, that will never happen. But if for some reason you're not getting a benefit, then it's risk-free. You can literally message them, get your money back if you don't like it after 30 days. So it's literally no-brainer to get a VPN. But there are a few other options as well. So a few other people have been saying to me, okay, they maybe don't trust MetaMask that much now. They're looking for alternatives. What other wallets are good? I've also got a few other wallet suggestions for you. Now, I still think you should use a VPN whenever you're using any wallet. This isn't just MetaMask exclusive, but there are a few great options which I like that offer certain inherent benefits over MetaMask. The first one's Block Wallet, because their UI is very, very good. They've got in-wallet swapping, which is very fast, and I just like the UI. By the way, we're not sponsored by any of these three projects, Trust Wallet, XDeFi, or Block Wallet. I'm just giving you suggestions which I like personally. So Block Wallet's one. It's EVM compatible. That is one option if you would like to go with a MetaMask alternative. The other option is XDeFi. I think they have quite a good wallet as well. So XDeFi is another option. They have good NFT integration with their mobile app. So if you're into NFTs, XDeFi might make sense. You can see their platform here. So they've got a very good app. Trust Wallet as well. This is probably the biggest wallet after MetaMask. 25 million people use it. It's also got a good app on the App Store. That's another option. They're three very good options for you guys. Block Wallet is probably the best, in my opinion, for DeFi, because it has great connectivity on the Google Chrome extension. So I think this is a good option there. XDeFi is a very good option when it comes to for the NFT guys that want to hold NFTs. And the Trust Wallet is probably the best phone option. So even if you had all three on different platforms, you're diversifying risk a little bit. I don't mind that at all. So they're just a few options for the guys that maybe don't want to use MetaMask anymore, and I completely understand that notion. Just giving you guys a few options to use another provider, but I would still use a VPN with all of them. So I want to answer some questions in the comments now, because I haven't actually been live in a while. I've been a bit cheeky. My last couple of live streams have been pre-recorded and scheduled, but now I'm actually back to being live on stream with you guys, because I've been traveling overseas and my internet's been dodgy. Now I'm back at home. My internet's not the best because we're getting a new upgrade, but it's better. I can stream every single day at 7 p.m. EST for you guys. I'm going to be consistent every weekday, 7 p.m. EST. I'll be back giving you guys alpha. For the guys that haven't seen my show in a while, basically my job or my calling in life is to find these gems. That's where I spend 99% of my time. It's finding, identifying the next 50x, the next 100x for the next cycle. So I do a lot of small cap research. I do a lot of DeFi research. I'm very into DeFi, whether that be delta neutral strategies, whether that be strategies for farming crypto using DeFi. We've seen what happened to CeFi recently, so I think the case for DeFi has never been stronger. That is where my skill set lies. So if you haven't watched my show in a while, tune in every day, 7 p.m. EST, and I'll just answer a few questions here. Someone said I forgot to add the link in the description. Paolo, you can check that. I'm pretty sure it's the first link. Pretty sure NordVPN is the first link. Yeah, links are in the description. Joby says he's loving the great prices personally. It's scary moments. 100%. Like it is scary times at the moment, but you have to realize that wealth is born in these markets. And I know it's a cliche saying, like everyone say millionaires are born in bear markets, but it's kind of true. I mean, if you look at the ones that succeeded over the 2021 cycle, they were the ones that were accumulating, learning, positioning themselves in 2019, and then they just reaped the rewards in 2021. They did all the work prior to that. 2017, exact same thing. The 2015-16 bear market, people thought crypto was dead. People were saying it. Crypto's dead. It's never coming back. Bitcoin's dead. Look what happened in 2017. Time and time again, people doubt crypto. It comes back, and it's the ones that were aggressive in the face of adversity that actually ended up succeeding. And you guys know that I'm a big proponent of not timing the bottom. I don't believe that is possible. I'm a big fan of DCAing around the general area I think a local bottom could be forming in. And honestly, now's one of those times. I think if you were DCAing for the last 6 months, it's okay if you were DCAing to certain assets. Obviously, you'd be underwater now, but DCAing for me isn't a linear thing. I think when people hear the word DCA, they think, let me just put in like $5, maybe a bit more, like $500 every single month, every month, and never vary it. I don't agree with that. I believe in what I would call variable DCAing, and that's an approach where you go more aggressive during times of adversity and you go more defensive, so taking slight profits and DCAing out during periods of market greed when the market's pumping. So I think variable DCAing is a great way to go. So what I actually do is I DCA heavier when the market's lower, but I still always DCA. So even 6 months ago, when the market was beginning to drop, I was buying a little bit, but I was buying a lot less than I am now. Now I'm ramping it up a lot more, putting a lot more fresh capital into the market. As I think we approach a local bottom, I still have cash for potentially if we go lower and hit a generational bottom Q1 2023. I can't pick the bottom and I don't claim to be able to. All I know is that we are reaching a level where I think certain assets are fundamentally mispriced and have significantly more upside than downside. For example, Ethereum. I think all of us agree Ethereum is going to hit $10,000 one day. At least most of us agree with that. But also most of us think it could hit $500. But dropping from 1,200 to 500, that's a very small drop compared to the gain that 1,000 to 10,000 would be. So for me, it's asymmetric risk. Okay, I might have to go underwater for the next few months. That's fine. But I'm not going to try and time the bottom, because if we don't hit those price targets people think we can hit, then I'm going to miss out. And I would much rather expose myself to that 10x, 100x upside that I know can happen in this market next cycle, rather than be too nitpicky with losing another 30, 40%. That's just my strategy. You might have your own strategy. The reason I'm on the nested dashboard now is because I am doing DCA portfolios. So if you guys agree with my strategy, you might not. But if you do, and I know some of you would, some of you won't, that's okay. We can all trade differently. If you do, though, I am doing live DCAing on the shows. So we've started to build portfolios. This is a very small portfolio I built on Polygon. It's getting bigger, though. We're going to be allocating DCAing over time using this USDC balance. If you want to copy that, you can copy that using the link in the description. Deposit funds straight from your Visa, wallet, however you'd like to do it. And I also started a portfolio yesterday on BSC, which just has Phantom and BNB in it right now, but that's already up. I mean, our Phantom position's up 5%. Our BNB position's up 3%. And in our Polygon portfolio, we've hit 17% on Chainlink, 6% on BNB, 6% on GNS. So we've hit, honestly, some pretty good winners over the past few weeks. We've outperformed the market. So if you want to join along and outperform the market along with me, hopefully we can continue to do so. Then link in the description to Nested. 2 people will win $1,000 just for joining the ride and copying along. but you can deposit and copy any of these portfolios. These will change heaps. I've started small on purpose with not a lot of assets. They're going to get more complex over time. They're going to get more intuitive over time, and they're also going to include more small caps over time. But every day I'll keep you guys updated with how these portfolios look. So for the ones that like the DCA approach like I do, you can join along and copy those portfolios as well. I'll just answer a couple more questions for you guys. Shilling VPN. To be honest, if there was one thing I'm comfortable shilling in crypto, it's a VPN. I get why people would hate influencers shilling a project. I don't shill projects because I don't believe in it. I get why people would hate shilling exchanges as well. It's probably less bad than shilling a project, but I can completely understand why people would hate shilling a project. If you hate on someone for trying to protect your privacy, then I just disagree with that, because it's not a shill if you're genuinely trying to help people. Yes, we get a kickback, of course. We get a percentage of the commission, but you don't need to use my link. You can go into NordVPN yourself and sign up on a non-banter link. If you really don't want to support the channel and you're really against links, just go do that yourself. But if you do want to support the channel and you do want to get the discount that we can offer you, then use the link. It's as simple as that. I don't view it as a shill. I view it as helping the community personally. Does VPN counter Infura? Very good question. Some of you might be wondering about that. What a VPN will do. So Infura still needs an IP address. So whenever you are using Infura, it still needs to know where you are. That is how it processes RPCs. But if you use a VPN, the IP address that you're giving to Infura will be hidden. It will be a different IP address in a country that you select. So no, it doesn't directly counter Infura, but it does give it a new IP address. So technically, no, Infura can't see your actual IP address if you're using a VPN. And that's why I recommend using a VPN on Metamask. So that's why whenever I do a transaction on Metamask, at least when I don't forget to, sometimes I forget, but I try to be diligent with remembering, I always use NordVPN or another VPN provider. There are other good VPNs too, but Nord's just the one that I use. Well said, dude. I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone that's supporting the show. Sheldon's literally here every day. So shout out to you, Sheldon. I really appreciate your support. Joby as well. I don't think you've missed a single one of my shows, bro. And there are other ones in the comments. I do notice you guys. If I've missed anyone, I'm sorry. But the ones that come in and tune in every day, even though I've been pretty inconsistent with my streams, I really, really, really appreciate it. At the end of the day, as I said, my goal is to just really help you guys for the next cycle. This is the show. Carl does the charts. Sheldon does the charts and the educational stuff with Crypto School. Rand does the fundamentals. This show is all about finding those next 50x gems, doing deep dive research on projects, fundamental research on projects, and also looking at DeFi strategies that we can tie into both of those things. So this is the ultimate DeFi fundamentals show, and that's what I strive to do. I basically spend every waking hour of the day researching crypto for you guys, and this is my forum to share that research. And I'm so thankful that I have a platform where I can actually share that research with you guys. I just thought the privacy conversation today was extremely important to get across, because it's just becoming so important, in my opinion, to have good privacy. VPN's one way you can do it. There are other strategies as well. By the way, our copies value just went up $1,000. Someone just aped $1,000 into the farm live on the show. Appreciate you, whoever that was. I think we have 73 people now joining along in the nested community, so that's awesome to see as well. All right, cool. I'm going to end the stream now. What about Johnny? I'm actually so sorry, Johnny. I forgot to mention Hustle as the gaming show. Hustle, if you're watching, my apologies. I had a mental blank. Of course, Hustle covers the games. He's the gaming expert, probably the best, in my opinion, gaming creator on YouTube. I don't think you're going to find someone as clued up, involved in the space, and as knowledgeable in the gaming space as Johnny. I'm really sorry, Johnny, that I forgot to mention you. But you just slipped through the cracks on that one, bro. But no, of course, Johnny is if you're watching, he's the gaming expert. Thanks for reminding me. All right, cool. If you enjoyed the show, smash the like button, subscribe, get yourself a VPN, and I will see you tomorrow I was going to do my narrative show today, but I am doing it tomorrow instead, where I go through some of the next trends for the month of December. I think it's going to be a very, very cool video. Looking forward to some trends. We did get the chilies. To be honest, I keep rambling on, but I just need to get this off my chest quickly. I was a big fan of Phantom when the Phantom run happened. And we made a lot of money on DeFi, but I know a lot of us, and myself included, held the bag on some of those assets too long. And I was also a proponent of Luna, and I 100% accept responsibility for that loss there. But if you guys have been following the show in the past few months, I think the loyal fans that watch this show every day know how spot on we've been over the past few months, and I know we had tough times at the start of the year, but if you look at the track record here over the past few months, it has been very strong. We hit GNS at 150. It's $4 now. And that was basically the biggest position that I took of the month. We hit multiple other perp dexes that have performed very well. We got the Chili's and Algorand narrative 2 months before the World Cup. If you watch Cryptos Are Us, he only started buying Algorand and Chili's like 2 days ago. We had that months ago. We got the Dogecoin run at 6 cents to 12 cents. And these past few months have just been very, very fruitful. So although obviously January, February, that was a tough month, and probably more so the lunar collapse. That was a tough month. Ever since then, we've been pretty spot on with the narrative. So I just wanted to say everyone that's joined along and has participated and is involved with my community. I just want to say, one, congrats to you guys if you have been in on those trades with me. And two, if you weren't in on those trades, then I just want to say there's going to be many more in the future. And I'm very, very confident over the next 6 months, we can continue to smash it. It is a tough market to make money, but the fact that we were able to hit the GNS and the GMX and the Dogecoin trend and many others as well, MVX, which I tweeted about on my Twitter, the fact we were able to hit those in the bear market and profit despite Bitcoin going down, that's a massive win. And the fact that our nested portfolio is up, net up, despite Bitcoin being down, that is also a massive win. So I just wanted to say that very quickly, just for the loyal fans that stick around and watch every day. But I'll be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. EST. All right, cool. I'll see you in the next show. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.